아래 항상 먼저 쉬어야되다 태바침비 기위 신이 되네 주 안에 창라 마노와 안에 지가 리그 양다요 관에 안에 양마들이야 옛날 비트비나 라미기 최송들 안에 가서 되네 최송야 쉬어야 바디 고갑 라와데 마세야네 기디나 야네 양도 쉬기 삼제 아니 조심해 봐지 야네 양도 쉬기 심비게 몰람자다 되네 아직은 저게 상에 내면에 쉬쉬시비 아주 최망고 쉬비게다 퇴비게 돈들에 양내 양도 삼는다 제바치제 네 저기 된데 체명해 봐 체명에 삼중게 싫어 깨와대 되는게 두바쇼 심비게 안에 엄마랑 자고래서지 안디고 쉬시 안 되는게 냠는 제단 거랑 가서 디쉬로
Good morning. So yesterday we continued to look at this prayer, the prayerful practice at the beginning, the middle, and end of practice. So yesterday we came so far as to see that having made aspirational prayers to meet and recognize a teacher as a fully qualified Mahayana spiritual friend, and then to receive many teachings on the Mahayana Dhamma that are both complete and unmistaken from him, and receiving these many teachings to engage with them with intelligence, with a mind of reasoning, of analysis, of logic, and to receive these teachings in this through utilizing such a mind, as well as to engage in extensive reflection on the teachings. And now that we recognize that we have gained this opportunity, we have fulfilled the aspiration of that we have fulfilled the aspiration in previously made prayers. This is something to rejoice in, and to generate the mind to continue to receive teachings and reflect on the teachings with an attitude that is insatiable, without ever having misplaced contentment for the teachings that we receive. And to engage in receiving teachings and reflecting on them repeatedly over a sustained period, whilst relying on our intelligence, our reasoning. And then through this, eventually giving rise to a valid cognizer in relation to what the topic that we are meditating on. So these were the aspirations that were expressed in the prayers that we've been looking at up to this point.
다들이 쉬어야지가도 다 기신 독다 발송 토미 토마 퇴섬기 근데 야고 영화 쇼스야 돼 아니 그 몰람자다 말도다 퇴섬제네 삼중기 시랍 근데 냠는지네 야고 영화 쇼스야 뒤도나 몰람자야 돼다 가상 사발에 다들이 쉬어야 돼 나는 뒤에 타마 다 삼중기 된 정말 저기 체명에 살네 대리야 안지지도 검제 띵이진 줍죠 검제라 아니 내 엠바디 검제라 아니 야부용아 쇼세디 인디도 나를 몰람제래 디고시래
So this, as we've mentioned before, this prayer for the beginning, middle, and end of practice can also be correlated to the study, reflection, and meditation. So, or receiving teachings, reflecting on teachings, and meditating on teachings. And a couple of days ago we finished the part of the presentation that was as far as the hearing or the receiving of teachings. Then we came yesterday to the part of the presentation relating to reflection or contemplation. And that was concluded. So the verses up to now, the preceding 14 verses, were aspirational prayers that are made so that we can continue to successfully engage in receiving of teachings and the contemplation of them. And now, from the 15th verse, we come to the part of this prayer that is relating to actual meditation. So when one is ready to engage in meditation, and what is meant by meditation in this context, is when one has given rise to the wisdom arising from contemplation. So once one has given rise to the wisdom arising from contemplation, one is ready to engage in meditation on that object. And so this is where we're going to start today. And when meditation here means that one is ready to enter into seclusion, into retreat, and generate the mind of calm abiding on special insight or meditative insight in relation to the object of meditation.
and Janjus in Kunotilla, Yamne Karchebene, and the Tapachimichi, Yamne Chevala, Dambo Tomar, and Bendigo has some Jambe Janjus in Kunella, Delia, and the Junju, and the Leva Meva Junju, some, and the Ducian Yamne Ores and the Kazan, that Kunonki, Dambo Kunotina Kure, Pardo, Yamne Chevala, Junju Kures, Kazan in the Shuranga.
Kuna di tokma de amene bardu ne de tamatama de komasam ge kotomso tokma dam bardu
당보가 좀 냠내 가래 제베는데 군노데 자주스미스 이제 당보 책으로 봐 진짜 냠내 지위 qabla 존주고 그래 존주고 맞지 말맞지 맞지 안 존주시 냠내 지고래 센디
되고서 도체. And furthermore, what we also mentioned yesterday, a second way to understand this reference to prayer for the beginning, and middle, and end of practice, is that the beginning, then this refers to the motivation that one needs to cultivate before one engages in any activity. Because whether an activity turns out to be virtuous or not is primarily dependent on the motivating mind. So the mind that we need to generate each morning in our meditation repeatedly before engaging in activities is to generate the mind wanting to free all sentient beings from suffering. And this commitment comes about through reflecting on the nature of cyclic existence, how it's pervaded by suffering, and that this is the experience of all beings. Then giving rise to the wish to free them from suffering is the mind of compassion, conjoined with the mind of love, wishing beings to be free, to experience only happiness. And then taking these to the next step where, to beyond the point of a mere wishing, may beings experience only happiness, may beings be freed of suffering, to the point where we generate individual responsibility to lead each and every sentient being to that state. And that taking of individual responsibility is the mind of special intention, or maybe to translate it in a clearer way, the mind of the altruistic attitude of universal responsibility. So this altruistic attitude of universal responsibility, this is where the practitioner takes responsibility for each and every sentient being, to lead them to a state freed of suffering, a state of lasting happiness. And how can this now commitment be fulfilled? Only through becoming the most skilled of guides, a Buddha. Because it's only a Buddha that can work in accordance with the individual aspirations of beings and lead them to the cultivation of virtue and abandonment of non-virtue, and perfect these practices and become Buddhas themselves. So this is the beginning part of the practice, the cultivation of bodhicitta. And then whatever activity one is engaging in, whatever practice one is engaging in, becomes one of the Mahayana Dharma. And then the middle aspect, this is to do so with a mind of joyous perseverance, a mind delighting in virtue. And that's the middle aspect.
Dini Zanganjuini and Dinigi and Nyamada, then the Mahaji Mango, Shidukin, Tesugilia, and Di Dunda down. 아니 안디 마인 비게다 그지 실랑아 되와 미 몽고 서로다 언디 된다 대수기 대수의 선비기 미 대수기 천비 토네가 삼마 천비 토네다 점물이야 아니 심지 안지네 나자강아 냠다 심지까지 요바나다 가제 점물이다 대 점물이 마인 비게다 지가 수다 수메서 감숨이기 심정 창마다 네 동화다 저와다 디기 tempo show 선비기 니도나래 양안 저기 디링안에 지금 저기 최년시 제야디 디도다 지금 유스 콘도 디기 차 디기 tempo다 안에 동화 탐제 제제 산조고방 특别치료도 하는 저기 디래 최년시 지금 인생에 아주 군노디네 삼다제 지금 년시지나 근데 군노디 다듯이 하산 남다기 심바세도 책으로 와 어디네 삼다게 계시물도
We're here now in this teaching hall. We are all engaged in an activity, either in my case teaching, your case receiving teaching. So this is an activity. And as has just been said, before engaging in any activity, then it's imperative to generate the appropriate motivation, the motivation of bodhicitta. And for this then activity of giving or bestowing or receiving teachings to be a virtuous activity of the Mahayana, then we need to generate the motivation of bodhicitta. So if you've done this, then re-strengthen it again, reminding ourselves of what today is in particular in Australia and New Zealand. It's Anzac Day today. So this is a commemoration of all the death and destruction that has been beings have gone through or undertaken in the past. So in particular the First War, but also many since then. We remind ourselves of all this waste and this destruction and this harm that was performed at these times. And this is unfortunately not something just of ancient or recent history, but is still continuing in the world today. And this was most evident at the recent massacres in Sri Lanka on Easter Sunday, when so many people were killed and maimed. So aware of this ongoing gross suffering, let alone all the subtle levels beneath that, generate this altruistic attitude of universal responsibility that through my cultivation of virtuous minds and this merit, may I swiftly become a Buddha for the sake of others. And with this motivation of bodhicitta, engage in the activity of receiving teachings. This is the 15th verse. With conviction of dharmas profound, gained from understanding born of contemplation, I pray that I retreat to solitude with a perseverance severing life's attachments to devote myself to proper practice.
자주 샘 집바도 수준서가 전주 삼대라 소비 냠는 송셰교다 아니 이게 사바 사비취 삼모 동반이 남자 송제 안델이야 동반이 도비 셰르게 파치 냠는 거 송셰기 대솔이야 아니 지게 남망부 퇴외 된들라 망부 퇴외게 다 돈다들 되니게 다 상유 송나 송셰버디게 상유 송디 망부 퇴지 되니게 돈다디 야네 야도 삼다지 안주기 돈다닝보디 대자就是三种类型些业别菜，什么的结巴起的，短大宁波的层面多用的，多层面还不你用的，但是三种个路写了写的结巴的也是了。
The first two lines, with conviction of dharmas profound, gained from understanding born of contemplation. So this is similar to what we heard in a previous verse when the Dharma was referred to as being both vast and profound. And so to remind ourselves then, the Dharma that is profound refers specifically to the wisdom realizing emptiness, the understanding that all phenomena that exist without exception are empty of inherent existence. So this is all those teachings are included in the Dharma that is profound. Then the Dharma that is vast are all topics other than those relating to the perfection of wisdom in the context of the Mahayana. So this would refer to the teachings of love, compassion, and bodhicitta, and the other 5 perfections, the practices of generosity, ethical conduct, patience, joy, perseverance, and then we heard concentration straddles both depending on the object. So this is the meaning here of Dharma's profound. And now when one has gained an understanding born of contemplation, so at this point, the aspiration that is being expressed, when I have, through hearing an abundance of teachings and reflected on those to the point where a valid cognizer has arisen in terms of, a valid cognizer has arisen, realizing the essence of the Buddha Dharma has arisen, then I will have given rise to the wisdom born from reflection. So to say that, but again it wasn't so clear. Having received then, the prayer being expressed is having received an abundance of teachings and reflected on these, contemplated on these in a profound manner, leading to a valid cognizer realizing the essence of the Buddha Dharma, then a wisdom of reflection will have been generated.
Shindu sebi chusu la samjung luyeng shi yibe sese. Ganse Shindu sebi chusu si da sanji ki sunra nalya deni ki tenche pe nane ya Shindu saba to kasho kale kasho de garasna tongyi ki namja dire es tongyi dire es ora sabi Shindu saba si de dinane to da sanji ki sunra nalya sunya de jimba dang chuden sube nyamlen gor dang ane mita ba dang jemma dame ba tongba ni gor mo sun gor wa dinane ya Shindu saba di tongba ni dire es 지상 동반이 또불 동바 유 동반이 신도 사바 지상 디도 갈래 가고로와 지상 데니기 된자 신도 사비 동반이 지상 동반이 또 안에 디 냠는 제바 공바테네 아니 녀모 빠야 돼야 디르와 데니자 신도 사비기 동반이 디에 파 제바 제세 퇴 상이 손셰비 동반이 고를 안에 야도 퇴는 된다들이야 된지기 남샤 상다제 동반이를 제바 제세 안에 동반인데 디레샤 셈비게 네바니비 네 중기 네바니요도 다 도요도 네바니스는 도요도 동이 도요도 되네 동이 동이라 네바니 바레스 세상 되네게 네바니 오레스 Antoni tope kari tempo madrupa dela Geshe Thubten Geshe ne di to pala
di to pala
Geshe nye ba se tong yu to ba se ji san ji tong yu to je ba sam jung ge she ba den de ge nam sha ge je ba je je ani shin du sa be ge dong ba ni di la me ba ni ge se de to gu re so
as has just been mentioned, the practices of love, compassion, bodhicitta, and the first 5 perfections, as well as other teachings such as impermanence, are included in the vast teachings. The profound are those relating to the emptiness of inherent existence. And the emptiness of inherent existence, or the profound teachings, are what are explicitly referred to here, Dharma's profound. And this is because this is the most difficult of subjects to realize. And the way and what marks it as what identifies one's understanding of the wisdom realizing emptiness being a realization would be that when one has attained a conviction, one has attained certainty or definite understanding of emptiness, then one will have given rise to the realization of emptiness. Reminding ourselves of the importance of the wisdom realizing emptiness is that this is the actual antidote to all our afflicted minds. This is the actual antidote to all suffering. So realization of emptiness, this is when one gains certainty or conviction or a definite understanding of emptiness.
dene garche gore labna da delya ande jeji du mi bi shine trupje tongba ni la jeji du mi je ane shine trup shine di ngane a tongba ni la mi ba la tong trupje ane druba nyam la je gore sa chi shi goro je gore la gorwa.
When one has attained this conviction relating to this, this consciousness of conviction, this certainty, then one has certainty about the wisdom realizing emptiness. So what this means is that one has gained a certainty beyond a mere intellectual understanding. One has gained certainty through one's contemplation that the ignorance of self-grasping is a wrong consciousness. It has no foundation in reality. So this is an understanding born of contemplation. So therefore, it's experiential, it's not just a mere intellectual knowledge. Knowing then that and so together with the certainty relating to the wisdom realizing emptiness, or the certainty of the presentation of emptiness, then on the one hand, one knows that the ignorance of self-grasping is a wrong consciousness. And one knows that this very wisdom, this wisdom realizing emptiness that one has now gained certainty with regard to, is able to completely destroy this wrong consciousness. So now with this certainty, one is then ready to develop the minds of calm abiding and meditative insight, or the union of calm abiding and meditative insight, so that one can engage in single-pointed analysis of this topic. And then one is ready to embark on this new journey.
Now we
are ready to embark on with a perseverance, severing life's attachments to divert myself to proper practice.
Gomchi Majamda Tigmidu, Sambigata, the Niggas Amatomba, the Tony, the Tomba, the Tiju, the Mibi, Gomchi, Captain, Yomochi, Pantua, the Nigom Jaya, Bemas, Yahore, Kavore, Yahore, some 20 top Keche, then Gomja said, Chisua, Miss Sansing, near Yusala, Gomjana, things in Yahumarwa, Namaza Gomja said, near Embachi Padroche, then Gomja, near Embalpa, Gomja, or Hesureta. Said it to what you be Embat in the Sujan Juba show, said the Nigi, ne Embalia, Gomja, Samotomba, Mipi, Shini, Trup, Delia, Gomja, Droche, and Gomja, the Gomdi, Yabu, Shaw, said Monam Jadi, Yamna Tarsimba, Shaw, said Monam Jadi, did it.
So here, the prayer that is being expressed is, as we can see, there's a sequence through these verses. So the prayer that is being expressed is that, having given rise to the certainty with regard to the presentation on emptiness, so this wisdom that is born from contemplation based on hearing, then one will have certainty with regard to one will have certainty with regard to the abandonment of this wrong consciousness of ignorance, of self-grasping, as well as certainty with regard to the method, this wisdom realizing emptiness. Having done the groundwork, one then also has the confidence and the capacity to cultivate the union of calm abiding and special insight with relation to the object of emptiness. So this is something now that is very difficult to do if one is in. This is something that's very difficult to do, and and this difficulty is just exacerbated if one is surrounded by obstacles. One needs to be in an environment where obstacles are greatly reduced. Obstacles such as we heard yesterday, those that come from resources, the desire that can come from these, the need to accumulate them, the need to guard them. Obstacles that can come from loved ones and from friends and companions. So all these kinds of obstacles and distractions one needs to remove oneself from such an environment, and rather, with this mind of certainty that one has generated, this definite understanding, then one is ready to go into a place of isolation, a place removed from all these activities, and then give rise to the actual antidote to all our suffering.
ngado sem tingi zine tongpa yinla tsechi tu ne debe ngala ya rang cheba cheche ane di tongi topa chi kukure la tong chi kukure chesa shine da la tong sundu trewa chi kukure chesa dene sundu trewa chi yoba yinna dene lo di tongi debu lo di nyuba chimbo cha kukure chesa dene yinza ane ko kaso nyomo panya le la tong tu kukure dene yinza ngana juki ta tongpa yinla tsechi tu mibe shine towa la ta ngana juki namdoa da namya shi wu chi yoba yinza dene ngana shine towa la kom nyamne chedi ne yemba chile nyamne chebaina ande chine tui kialia de la yore se ne yemba chile tengu res tenje kom ya do res ngorwa de
The meaning of these two lines is that having gained a realization although one has gained a realization of emptiness, this realization lacks the strength to be able to destroy the afflicted minds. And the reason it lacks strength is because one is unable to meditate on emptiness with the union of calm abiding and meditative insight. And therefore, one's mind remains weak due to being distracted. So having gained this realization, and thereby cultivated the required basis to be able to come to realize emptiness with calm abiding and meditative insight, then one moves to a place where the worldly distractions arising from worldly responsibilities, such as to friends and loved ones and possessions, one is isolated from that. And then it becomes much easier to develop the minds of calm abiding and meditative insight in relation to emptiness. So in brief, what are these minds? So calm abiding is a mind that holds its object undistractedly, single-pointedly, for any duration of time. So that is the mind of calm abiding. Then the mind of special insight, or the term I now prefer, meditative insight. This is a mind that analyzes, that investigates. So what one needs is the union of these two. In other words, these two together. They come in a sequence. First one generates this undistracted mind of calm abiding, where one can hold one's realization of emptiness in an undistracted way. But that alone is insufficient, because one cannot investigate then. If one investigates, one loses the calm abiding. So meditative insight is then required to be developed so that one can investigate whilst holding the object in an undistracted way. And that is what one enters in retreat to cultivate, the union of calm abiding and meditative insight on the object of emptiness. Let's talk a little bit about then what is meant by the union of calm abiding and meditative insight. So the yogi at this point has a realization of emptiness. They have realized emptiness. And so they've given rise to this wisdom arising from contemplation, this valid cognizer. So despite having a realization of emptiness, this realization is still regarded as weak, because the mind realizing emptiness is weak. And it's weak due to distraction. It doesn't hold the object very long. It's very quickly drawn away from the object. So to make this realization greatly more powerful, then the yogi embarks on developing the union of calm abiding and special insight. So of these two, calm abiding is always developed first. So the yogi then generates a realization of emptiness, this realization arising from reflection, and then tries to hold it, this object being emptiness, hold this single-pointedly. And then distraction will arise, and then the realization is regenerated, and once again the yogi tries to hold it single-pointedly. And this process is repeated continuously, realizing emptiness, through this valid cognizer, then trying to hold it in an undistracted way. And this is done repeatedly. And as one does so skillfully, slowly the yogi can hold the object of the emptiness of inherent existence ever longer, eventually reaching the point where they can generate the realization of emptiness, hold it single-pointedly, undistractedly, as long as they choose. But the process now isn't finished, because they've just given rise to the mind of calm abiding, holding the realization of emptiness. They are the benefit of this is they're holding the object undistractedly for as long as they want, so it's powerful. But further analysis cannot be done, because as soon as further analysis is performed, the single-pointed concentration is lost. So then the yogi continues this process, generates the realization of emptiness, holds it with single-pointed concentration, and then starts to analyze, and then loses their calm abiding. And they repeat this again and again and again, and then slowly they gain ever more proficiency in this, generating the realization of emptiness, holding it with calm abiding, and analyzing it, and slowly not losing the calm abiding as quickly. And eventually they reach the stage where they are able to hold generate the realization of emptiness, hold it with calm abiding, and investigate with meditative insight. And this means they are able to investigate the lack of inherent existence without losing their calm abiding for as long as they wish. And then how does the yogi know, what is the sign that the union of calm abiding and special insight on the object of emptiness has been achieved? The sign that this has been achieved is not that they can do these two in union for as long as they wish. The sign is the risal of the bliss of physical and mental pliancy. When those have arisen, then they know that they have achieved the union of calm abiding and meditative insight on the object of emptiness. And the purpose or the benefit of this bliss is not merely just as a sign of this accomplishment, but then one's physically and mentally experience no difficulties in one's continued in one's meditation. One doesn't experience the physical and mental issues that we associate with meditation. They rather experience bliss.
야 라지도 장게 장사회 제라 아니 간zam질에 강바 교과지가 강바 직수제 야 라도제 라바디기 볼유야다 다마라 제도도와 그 니로레 차기 있어야 되나 배로 스티르바다 나지 담보 동반일 미비 띵이제 파네리아 갈레오라데 네마도와지 담보 삼다데 네마도와지 교과나 강바 주만 마리루바나시 네마도에 남에 파쇼 나 간zam질이야도 신의 주변도 동안에 제지도 네베네 투버이나야 제바체나 안마 야지 남에 쳐줘 저 강벌 마선 주야 랑되는 라고 유는 말이 주고로 어디로지 난 가슴 지려 안 장어도 강벌 직수제 라고 가지 유디는 些말이 바제 라고 유에다 담아라 제투버나시 띵이지 유동반이라 제지도 내신변 안에다 셰레티기 제바 제지도 가지나 제 투에게 니버실려도 실라송 데세데 베로 되네지
An illustration then to make this clear is if we think of perhaps a disabled person who has decided to train in becoming an athlete. So this is a person, perhaps they have a newly acquired artificial leg, and they now have the wish to learn to run and they want to race. So when they start, this is going to be quite difficult. When they try to run, perhaps they'll fall over, But they'll need to get up, and then they'll try to run again, and slowly they'll start to build some familiarity with the process and not fall over so often. Then they'll become more skilled in how to use their arms to build up momentum, and without falling over. And then slowly, with perseverance, they will be able to run a little further, run a little faster. Eventually they'll be able to run an entire course, and perhaps even they will eventually be able to run and outperform other athletes. So this is the same for the yogi, cultivating the minds of calm abiding and special insight on the object of emptiness. When at first they need to generate the realization of emptiness and try and hold to the calm abiding. And they'll struggle to do this. But they need to, with perseverance and with joy, continue at this. And eventually, they will achieve this. But then, not resting on those laurels, aware of the goal that they have, they will then try and include the mind of meditative insight. And then, all they've achieved will be lost. They will realize emptiness, place the mind of calm abiding on that, and then try and analyze, and they'll lose. But just like the disabled athlete who falls down and then stands up and perseveres, so too the yogi. The yogi will then persevere, once again generating the realization of emptiness, holding into the calm abiding, then trying to analyze, and then slowly seeing they're getting a little better. They can do it for a little longer. And eventually, the union of calm abiding and special insights on the object of the emptiness of inherent existence will be attained.
ne embachil pa tenje tingizin shine drupche shine tingizin drupche delia gomja rogures na cheme ngeba manya baje gomja rona jogyo mare sungor da ga ha mogona donda ha mogwaje ne gomja jogyo mare sungor chasa sang jerim chi soya de chisa di jumje ga donda ha mogwaje gomja rona ane bini gomje ne embachil pa gomja chobaina ane soso donda ha mogorwa 가르세 기지 디선에 매 미션다 매로 네 임바티르와 데네 델바 되제 데네 가스 되베네 돈다 하모와자 델리아 시라 공제 똑베 공 조야요 말에 재산 디칼레 하러로 시리에 승고와 데네 인자 자젤레 네 임바제 공제라 당보 소소랑랑게 공제스 유디레 간 유디 하고 와제 간스 공제사 차사 신제 장도로 제제 안에 공자 네 임바 공자로 그랬어 데니게 소소 신반네 임바죠 공자로도 저 소소게 유디 네바네바 있나 이제 지고요 뭐 어디래 선비게 텔레 제지로 공잡다 데데레서 삼다시 니 하고 인자 텔레 제지 이제 공자고 그래서 진짜 네 임바라 공자로라 당보 안에 삼중이 시럽 파 제제 예네마도 안에 네 임바라 공자로교 말에 소송거다 지산 삼중의 시럽게 발라 아니 퇴중의 시럽 당보 퇴중의 시럽게 고 퇴배 뭐 제고 그래서 마테나 아니 마녀나 취마시나 donda la samdayo mare donda la sammadana donda ha고 mares donda ha 먹거나 데네네 발라 검자로 조데베네 ane 판도시 용 마레서 그러다
The advice that Rinpoche is giving us here is building on what has been covered in the preceding 14 verses, is that we need to receive a great abundance of teachings from a qualified Mahayana teacher, and receiving those teachings we need to reflect on them extensively. So we need to contemplate, engage in analysis with powerful logic. And we need to do this extensively over a sustained period. And in this way, we will eventually give rise to a valid cognition in relation to what we have been reflecting on. Then, at that point, one is ready to go into retreat. So the reason for this sequence, and the reason for this sequence is that if one goes into retreat without having generated a valid cognizer, one is not ready to enter into an isolated retreat. And this is because one hasn't gained certainty with regard to the object that one is meditating on. One's understanding is not definite. Without this valid cognizer, then one will lack certainty, one will have doubts, one will be not entirely sure if one is proceeding correctly, if one is coming to the correct conclusions. And being isolated, being in a place of isolation, then one will lack the support that one requires at that time. In other words, one will not have completed one's preparation. So therefore, the starting point is to come to understand the object as well as how to cultivate the object in meditation. So this is done through the two processes of hearing a lot of teachings and reflecting on those teachings. Because hearing is the gathering of the knowledge, the reflection is gaining certainty of that knowledge. And when certainty is required, when this valid cognition is generated, and to express it in the third way, when the wisdom arising from contemplation has been generated, then the mind lacks confusion due to its certainty of understanding. Then one is ready to engage in isolated retreat, in solitary retreat. So there is the sequence. First one gains a small realization from hearing, a more powerful realization from contemplation, and then one is ready to develop calm abiding and special meditative insight on that object in isolated retreat to give rise to the realization arising from meditation. If one hasn't given rise to a thorough understanding of the object as well as how to contemplate it, in other words, hasn't given rise to a valid cognizer, and one enters into retreat, then one would be doing so with a lack of clarity in one's understanding. But almost certainly one would have a strong faith. So entering into retreat, though, would certainly lead to the accumulation of virtue due to the power of faith and whatever understanding one has. But one wouldn't gain a realization of the realization that one is seeking. So certainly virtue would be accomplished, but due to not realizing the object, there is a danger that one may become dispirited. One may may come out of retreat feeling that one had failed and become dispirited about the possibility of gaining a realization. So this is a very real danger.
Ananga susu karikor gom jagine rwada gom nyamne che na lama disane disane mangbo thö ni dene yane yando sam da che dene gom japthang ro chi japthang da gom je yu da chasang ha go yong de dene ne ba tenje susu gom ja ro go le so 지난 내내 인자 디게 침보레스 지난 제름 주 코로이네 냐마 아 녀리아는 지금 라마망고 전에 쉬망고 쉬 되네 에 삼나다 디제라는 타말이야는 지금 공자 네발이야 어느 공자 두스진의 패러와 어디나 시리 제름 지게 기디나 남사 공자 공디 빼야 버려 다치머디 남사 공자 쪽으로 송고 맞다 지상 당보야 고 라마 양다고 약보 지산에 망보 퇴 냠녀 유관제 퇴 망보 퇴 되는 돈다데 야네야도 삼다 하모거네야 라마들이야 기시티 야네야도 삼다 제 라마님도 퇴제 삼다 유디 하모거네 기시티서요로 와다 다 곰자니 임발 로서나 기시티서요 하모거네 기시티서요 말아 제사 되는 인자 나도 곰자도 제지를 마서나 마자도 차상 제지고로 와다 오네 팬이 가르자고로 갈당 거래서 마자도 소설야 수불을 숨겹다 파천자 차상 제지진 조얼마도 아당아 팬이 좀 마자 제지가면 조는 소설 경우라 아니야 여러와 어디나 신진에 가리는 곰자 제지 차상진에 퇴바지 삼바지 뭐 곰자 제지 차상지 조제 제제는 마 곰자 내발 곰자 동래에서 되는 자다 이 제반에 판도야 뭐 무례sun 거와
This text that Rinpoche composed, he composed from his own experience. And we know this from his biographies, that this is how he lived his life. He spent years engaging in extensive study, receiving many teachings from a vast array of different teachers, and all the while reflecting on their meaning, eventually coming to gain certainty of the meaning. And it was only when he gained certainty that he entered into retreat. So he entered into isolated retreat. So what we see here is that Geshe Rinpoche himself set the example of, at the beginning, engaging in an extensive accumulation of knowledge, and in the middle, reflected on this knowledge he was gaining. And through his reflection, doubts arose, lack of certainty arose, lack of clarity about the meaning arose. And due to being in the process of hearing and contemplating, he approached his teachers, he received further teachings, or he sought elsewhere further teachings. And in this way, he was able to overcome all his doubts and gain certainty and clarity about the meaning of the Buddha Dharma. And only then did he enter into the beginning, the middle, and the end practice, that of solitary retreat or isolated retreat. And there he was able to progress quickly and with confidence, because he hadn't done so too early. He hadn't done so before certainty arose. If he had done so, and the doubts had arisen in his mind, no one to ask. He would have been in isolation. So therefore, Geshe Rinpoche is presenting his life story, his way of practice, as the example to follow. And what is being said here isn't just something that Lama Tsongkhapa himself did, but in our world, in the ordinary world, this is how people progress. If we take those who engage in occupations of great danger, so perhaps the military don't just give rise to the wish to pursue this career and then be sent off into battle. They are extensive training is invested in them. A vast array of skills and support is given to them, so that when the time comes that they must accomplish their particular objective, they can do so with great skill and proficiency and speed and without loss. So if this is the way of the world, and whether it's with the military or other armed services or with sports people, whichever skill, all the more so for the Bodhisattva warrior who's embarking on the journey of completely eliminating all faults within their own mind, so as to be of greatest benefit to others.
차상 하고에 통해 검제한테 검제 뉴베침봉원에 검제 뉴베침보 러와다 제사된 검제 뉴베침보다 하고 제 검제 타당 가능가는 저거 어디 맞아네 곰자 중에서는 누버치무 제가 중에서는 누버치무 야에 교내 말하다 만도 되네 용식 연구로 와데 지금 되니기 어디 곰점데 티시올 누버치무 되네 지금 어다 뒤들었던 거 되네 제도에서 어다데 가지고도 삼죠 곰자 중에서는 안에 두스치네 저와이나 안 소수기 녀래네 제지 마체바나디 용토야요 말와 제가 don달라 나 제림지 손야데 같이 내주제 제림지 송망보 나려라 당보 퇴바망고 제거를 당보 계신 퇴바 마도서 바도 슝로 탐제 담바샤 타만이 정도도 냠술련 군제된 군제 담바집에 치도 오세디 등이 직디 도나 지오 말 제시자오 말 향에 니 교월다 제가 don달라 가르손 당보 퇴바 계신 퇴바 마도서 세디 디나 집을 당보 퇴선 빼 슝망보려 양네 안도 겨 뒤 망고 퇴오래 제래 지사다 담바 슝로 탐제 담바 시아스데 디니 퇴비 되는데 냠소 되지 된다디게 찾아 만족이 하고 도바지 고고래스 되네네 타만 인생구도지 되는 공자로시 니나 새 무디제 안지 니가 무디제 전리 된제 공자고래스 되네 냠나 야고 용구래스 뭐다 된다 디셰바든다 지발소 지다 제르미 주 송망보 나라 찾아 되네래
Amongst the three activities of hearing, reflection, and meditation, the most precious is that of meditation. And that is because it is the most powerful at realizing the object. It is the ultimate technique to gain the ultimate realization, the most powerful of realizations of the object. However, this sequence is being clearly mentioned here, and Geshe Rinpoche has mentioned it himself in many texts, because knowing that when students who have accumulated over many lifetimes seeds of great interest in the Buddha Dharma, when hearing teachings of the incomparable Buddha Dharma, those karmic seeds ripen within them, leading to strong enthusiasm to engage in the Buddha Dharma. And this enthusiasm can end up leading someone to make a wrong decision, to go astray, in that before they are ready, but driven by this enthusiasm, they'll want to rush off to isolated retreat. And if they do that, they will be entering into a place of isolation, into retreat, without having the necessary foundation. They will not have come to understand the topic or the object to be cultivated in meditation in a way that is certain and without any doubt or lack of clarity as to the meaning. So therefore, and thereby, despite this enthusiasm, and despite the effort they may well apply in their isolated retreat, they will not achieve their desired result. And then disappointment will follow. Then they will have to return, having spent a lot of time not achieving what they had hoped for. And they will then need to still engage in what they should have done initially. So therefore, in this and many other texts, Geshe Rinpoche encourages us to receive a tremendous number of teachings, and whilst receiving them, reflecting on their meaning, using our intelligence, our logical reasoning, until we give rise to certainty, the wisdom arising from contemplation and this valid cognition. And then, with this certainty, we will have the enthusiasm to engage in isolated meditation day and night, and quickly give rise to powerful realizations.
Samsu that jiki dindiki madoajo gomjane pandoyo marasungdu dinensa that jiki anjugi tangandu tonyi doya tonyi lia gomya skami janshu sim jeyo marazin janshu sim gomya mindu chisna tangandu gomya rasa marasimbi je pando mindu sambe yadi samno nalo korsiurwa.
So one may then think, oh, okay, meditation not so beneficial for me, so no need to meditate on other minds such as love and compassion, no need. So it's possible such a thought now may arise.
디 마제바나 네 엠발라 기시디세 요 마레스 안 마신바이나 곰자요 마레스 원딘다 마신바이나 곰자면은 네 신이 죽두고 마레스 신이 죽나 띵에 죽두고 마레스 띵에 죽두 마도나 대통령이 미발 하동되게 안 죽고 마레스 근데 되네 인자 당보 지간 저게 신이 죽야라 신이 죽다 냠는 제가 차상 리리진 줘고래서 그래서 마도 네 엠발을 냠는 제 줘야 곰자라 마도 근데 이게 자와기네 곰자 마셔 쓴거 마신 왜나 곰자 마셔 쓴거 말와 단단 그냥 죽여 말딩이데 당 지금 네 엠발 멤버 제당 저게 되어서 장주심 곰야라서 장주심 마게바이나 장주심 곰야 여러와 장주심 마도바 마고 마게바 이네 나도 장주심 곰야 여래 다음에 비 돈이로 마도바이나 돈이래 제바제 삼다 되니게 삼다 제곰제 응구로와 근데 곰야 응구래 이 잡치고 다 가르sun 거라서네 띵에 진 주야 동반이라 미비 띵에 진 신이 주야라 동반이 돈 도체 대신에 주다 차상 하고 와체 로고마도 제리진 조는 디데리 마제나 신이 말했어 동이라 미비게 신이 주투 말해서 그러다 지산 디네 인자 디시고마도 지나는 넘긴다 아주 곰되어서 가야다 디네 마도네 잡고 말해서 순고 말다 디 잡치고 와잖아
I want to then really make a distinction very clear here, that what is being said, what we are being guarded against, is from entering into isolated retreats, going off into a hermitage somewhere isolated. We are being warned against doing that before we are ready, before we have accumulated all the required causes. So this is what we're being warned against, because if we don't know how to cultivate the object of meditation with certainty, and if we don't understand what that object of meditation is with certainty, we're not going to be able to cultivate that object of meditation. Similarly, with relation to the minds of calm abiding and special meditative insight, if we don't understand what these minds are with certainty, as well as how to cultivate them with certainty, we're not going to cultivate them, we're not going to accomplish our objective. So this is why we are being very clearly warned against entering into isolated retreat, because then we will be alone and we will be unable to achieve these objectives. But this does not mean that all of us here now should not meditate. This doesn't mean that at all. So here, maybe we should say reflect within this fits in. We should engage in reflection. We are not living in a hermitage, but that doesn't mean we can't engage in meditation. In that we certainly can. Based on the knowledge that we have and are receiving from our Dharma teachings and the books we read, we have knowledge of topics whether bodhicitta or emptiness and so forth. So therefore, whilst accruing our knowledge, whilst receiving teachings, we need to be reflecting on these teachings. So in this way, we can and should engage in meditation, this meditation of reflection on the teachings that we are receiving.
Kule Sanji Kule Min Zeju near to Minute Jangdor Combiada, the Yungro Adinege, and then other Doji Sembo Gomdechia, Zeju to Gomdechia, the Nelicta, Gomdechia, Yungore, in
anecdotes.
Zeju to Mine, you can mine, she near to be a thing is in Dela, out on to be the Ne Gomjala, you to sending ever Yehures or never near to Gomormado, near the empathy or draws you come to, sending ever Yen Gomnomado, then it Topidi. To Mares, Donna Dishu Mata, and Gune, Zao Hamano Comjayo Marsesia, she go Marada, and the Marchuba.
So meditation then, when is divided into two types. that of placement and that of analysis. So placement meditation, analytical meditation. When we're talking about the cultivation of the mind of calm abiding, that is placement meditation, where one places one's mind on the object of meditation. So this is placement meditation. The other, analytical meditation, where the mind analyzes. So what we're being discouraged from doing is going into isolated retreat and engaging in the cultivation of calm abiding and meditative insights on an object of meditation such as emptiness. This is what we're being discouraged from doing until we've accumulated all those causes, in particular the wisdom arising from contemplation. What though we should be doing now is engaging in in reflection. When we think of hearing, reflecting, meditating, reflecting. This is what we should be doing now in conjunction with hearing. So of the two types of meditation, placement and analytical, placement is calm abiding, analytical is what we should be doing now, this investigative analysis mind. So on whatever we are receiving teachings on, whether it be bodhicitta or emptiness, then we should engage in analytical meditation now in our rooms. We don't need to go off to a isolated place. We can do this here in our retreat or in our own homes. So that's how we can and should do analytical meditation. The other type of meditation, placement meditation, that too we can do now. We don't need to wait until we go into isolation, because we can train our mind now. If we're receiving teachings on placement meditation or we read a book on this, we can engage in that now too. We can generate, for example, an image of the Buddha and start to place our mind in a concentrated way on that image. And this way, we strengthen our concentration, strengthen our ability to eventually hold an object single-pointedly. Or if we do a practice such as Vajrasattva, within that practice we can include not just analytical but also placement meditation. Generate a visualization of Vajrasattva and try to hold this visualization single-pointedly in conjunction with the instructions we either receive from teachings or in a text. So we can do both analytical and placement meditation now, and it's good to do so. We should be doing so for many, many reasons, but in particular, this is accumulating the causes to be able to enter into isolated retreat. This is accumulating the causes to gain certainty, to gain the wisdom arising from reflection, and thereby be qualified to enter into isolated retreat.
Dewa dan tian da, simjan tu je dewa de tian ba, simjan dunga dan chawa shuo se bi. Da jin za simjan de dunga dan chawa de nge chi, simjan tu je dewa de ba de nge chi. Ji na nge je de ga de simjan nyo mo se ya, simjan le di ju ye gi jimbe ta shi ju gi nyam le je ju ya de ro. An di nge ju gi samje. Di do da la nge simjan san ju ko ba to gu du. Da san ju ko ba to ba la gom pe ji ge sam bo tong ba ni do che 东半年的这没被新年住，但呢，带来拉动住这第年年前的马多上有光脱土也民度，是在年在第年年前是年年也会用我小，我身边个，那年也会用我小，是莫那么家呀的，那所以呢，别这些的，年也会用一个短大了，然后就大家来当播现场，第一短大了，这个。 来面真的确实蒙古特别七八的，特呢短大的来养呢养到三大呀的东北一些这个，跟那些用钱跟这些真的电竞这我去多呢三大就都是呢三大呀呢养的结巴就都是呢，那蒙古特别短的了养呢养到三大节，那三就写了几啊短大的结巴结我的意思，实际上的那个结巴节些三就写了几说呢，的那也把它亲戚，那东北一多被车马的。 就是介绍呢，等你把那电子东北人没被新年住学时候了，新年住等你拉到住，等你们结婚的是的。但俺这呢，什么哪里呀？等你什么节，莫那么等你结，等你什么节，他们这个转哪里呀？俺上有个把头发结，你头发结罢了，俺这个做些了也怕是你们结活动，就让东西对不起来，你们结呢， 띵에진 돕고도 디토발랑에 튀어바지야다 단다디 야네나 삼당이 인생이 아주 삼나라 되네 삼기라 아주 튀어바지야다 안 단달에 제바지야디 냠내지야디 계침보레서 디링글랍체디 디스모라다.
Advice has been given to us in this verse today is that first we need, or the way to incorporate the advice we've been given to us into our meditation is that we start off with the meditation like we've heard previously, generating a mind of joy through faith and reflection on the opportunity we've attained. Thereafter, reflecting on suffering and the causes of suffering. And then thirdly, taking that understanding and applying it to all sentient beings, seeing that there is no difference of meaning, or meaningful difference rather, between myself and others, in that we all want to experience only happiness, and none of us wants to experience frustration or misery or suffering at all. And then through this understanding, we generate the minds of love and compassion, and take those further to the point where we take responsibility for the welfare of others, giving rise to the altruistic attitude of universal responsibility, developing that further to give rise to the mind of bodhicitta. And then, having given rise to bodhicitta, how does one fulfill this commitment one has taken to becoming a Buddha for the sake of others? And that's the fourth step of the meditation, engaging in the 6 perfections. And amongst the 6 perfections, the most important is the perfection of wisdom, because this is the direct antidote, the actual antidote to all suffering. And for all this understanding of, it's for this antidote to be generated, and for this understanding of emptiness to be the actual antidote, it has to be realized with the union of calm abiding and meditative insight. Without the realization of emptiness, without the union of calm abiding and meditative insight, does not have the power to actually eliminate the ignorance of self-grasping. So as beginners, we need to continue to hear many teachings, reflect on these teachings, and do so under the care and guidance of a qualified Mahayana teacher. And here in this prayer that we are doing, we make an aspiration to continue to do so, making the aspiration to, through these efforts of continuing to hear teachings, as well as to reflect on teachings like one is doing now in meditation, that one will quickly progress, give rise to the actual wisdom arising from contemplation, and thereby be ready to enter into isolated retreat, where one can generate the union of calm abiding and meditative insight on emptiness. So this is what's being expressed in this prayer, and how we can incorporate it into our own practice.
다 냠는 제발라 안에 군로 사베 삼바 자슈심 대견에 약국이 투어쇼세 몰람게다 된디는마 디레다 자슈심 냠는 제다 가 자슈심 비주와 냠는 제다 파시두 냠는 제로와 된자데 진베 냠는 제다 약국용어 쇼도 수름 냠는 제다 파신 주게 냠는 데 약국용어 쇼세데 몰람게 디레든마 디고 쇼야데
데카티 투 쇼이만 사 So this afternoon we'll continue, and the next verse will be expressing the aspirational prayer that may one's practice of the cultivation of the mind of bodhicitta, as well as all 6 perfections, may this go very well. So that's where we'll start this afternoon. If you have some questions now, then please feel free to ask. Yes?
This might be one of those silly questions, or maybe I completely missed. On special insight, when we're meditating on the object, do we keep going until we lose it or until it disappears?
Okay, so when we're cultivating a special insight on an object, then do we keep going until we lose the object or it disappears?
Yeah.
Yeah?
And what happens if the object does disappear?
And what happens if the object disappears? Okay, good, thank you. Then laktonki kola tuye yare. Then kazinga so shini drupdu then yulde yapozingire then laktong Drupye pe kabla, Drupye tapsi je pe kabla, deni nga tso yul de lagi re, kazi shine laksong. Deni kari teki re, nga tso yul bet lagi re, ya mena kari teki re.
Bet lagi, yu tongpa in bet laya de yo marwa, tanga zo lakdong samdang ya jeba chiyo do, tingi zin neba, tingi zishi neba di mayo wa che. Kwarasi na, tingi zin zishi do ne mitu wa che korwa. Tongpa yu di yo rwa de, ine sem di yo rwa, tingi zin de ne ma tu pa de yo rwa re. Chisa di zishi do, yandu ko yangjar pa zhenpa, zhenpi ki tenje, zhenpa digi, ta xie di nga zo, zhen xie di pe ye che shor da, tingi zi du ka la. Chisa xie digi, 제바 지디고라 딩이들 요구도 문도 제바체 다 되죠. 저 딩이들 봐 요구도 선배 남상야 제바디 진짜 야자 딩이들이야 유디래 내주죠 그래. 진짜 제바라시도 유이거라 매바 차로 유디 반에 유리로 레데然后这就是念的被搞了你看这些야자 제바제 삼는 셔럽도 봐 레어도 그 딩이들 디파这些念嘛都给差过阅读过来。진짜 대리야 전백이 된제 야자 봐 and the thing is in the Yang Yu de nature,
Before I give again this answer, then after tell me if you got the full answer, because I may have not remembered all your question, okay? But maybe I did. And then also in his answer, he'll talk about mindfulness, remembering that in our context, mindfulness really means recollection, yeah? So like memory. Okay, so when were you developing special meditative insight or special insight on the object of emptiness, then one will have already realized emptiness, and then one will have developed calm abiding on the object of emptiness. So what that means is one, through the mind of calm abiding, holds the realization undistractedly, but one doesn't have a meditative insight yet or special insight yet. Then when one now introduces the analytical mind, which is special insight, one then is trying to investigate the object in a more profound way, and what happens is one loses the calm abiding, the single point of concentration, that is lost. The object of emptiness, that is not lost, that is still there. But one is now no longer holding it in a single pointed way, because the analytical mind of meditative insight, that analytical mind, has served to move the mind. So single-pointed concentration is a mind that doesn't move, unwavering. Then analysis comes, the mind moves, because now one's thinking. So then the mind moves, and you've lost, and you have the object, but you've lost the concentration, the single-pointed concentration. Then one uses mindfulness to recall the instructions of meditation, and then once again generates calm abiding on the object of emptiness that hasn't been lost. The emptiness hasn't been lost, generates calm abiding on this, and then again tries with analysis, loses the calm abiding, regenerates the calm abiding through mindfulness, etc. Okay, good. Did it answer all the questions, or leave anything unanswered?
Maybe just in calm abiding. Would that be the same?
I didn't hear that, sorry. Maybe what in calm abiding?
Calm abiding.
Yeah.
Just in that one. Is that the same concept that the mind, just what you explained? Is that the same thing?
When developing calm abiding on the object of emptiness, does one lose the object of emptiness?
No.
No? Okay.
Maybe just a water bottle.
Yeah?
Yeah. And does that completely disappear? Or you just hold it? I know that you hold it as long as you can.
Oh, whilst holding the object with calm abiding, is the object visible or to the mind or present in the mind whilst holding it with calm abiding?
Yes. Does it disappear?
Does it disappear? So if one has meditating, visualized the water bottle, and then you hold it with calm abiding, does the object of the water bottle still appear to the mind whilst it's being held with calm abiding? Or does the water bottle get lost? Whilst
Can your mind in that state, can it disappear?
Okay.
Like, is that the...
In that state of calm abiding.
Yes.
Yes. Okay. Good. Good. Okay. Deni koso. Deni di yude penakungi kidom de chichik zinpe kabla yude lagirebe yamel dadung yorbe.
Chichik zinpe kabla de lagimara ko mikta de semdi pa ta de yudi lagana yorwa pene dirwa da chala chile mikde ta tu ta de pene yorwa chala de yor mikde thong de gore dene ya chi mikde pa bo de ma zum jana chala de pene yungu de thong min wa ka sa ngana de le gyön shor na ta kan sheba de mi gyön shor je sang ngana de je chi du ding jing ya yu de le je chi du ne de be ka la ka gang le ya ne se yu de yor pene de yor ine ya de yu de le ta chi sang ngana ta sem de je chi ne ma do sem de yu so na ya thong go ma wa mi de 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 chi ba le.
In brief, then, when we're holding the object with calm abiding, the object is not lost. So, for example, if you stare at your water bottle, you're just seeing your water bottle. You're looking at it, you're just seeing your water bottle. You close your eyes, then a mental image of the water bottle will be perceived. So you'll still see the water bottle, but now through your mind's eye. So we're seeing a mental image of the object. But because of the lack of strength of our concentration, that image of the water bottle quickly gets lost. So why? We're distracted. When you have developed calm abiding on your water bottle, on this mental image of your water bottle, then one won't lose it. One will hold that water bottle, and you'll be sitting for as long as you want with the visualized object of your water bottle before you. And so in this way, the object is not lost. Calm abiding holds it in an undistracted way. Good.
As the teaching be dingy the dingy ne ma sem yo so dingy digi yu di mi pa sure so ben chala ma la pa la chu ne la pa de ju de be ka le yo ba la pa ju ma de ma sa so ne ma sure la pa digi ma sure ko sure ba je san ko ron ju ma sure so ba je san mi ba de pa de wo de yo ko la pa na le yo ma ka san ko ma sure je san an ju dingy pa je ji do ne de be ka yu di le je ji do ne de be ka le yo re 남의 지기에서는 남의 지도 셈도 등에서 여러와 진짜 미버 쇼서 거 주마도 쇼서래 쇼서데 그런 게 미비 유딜다 등에서 미비 유딜라 유디메레데 유디메아 여러와 그래서 그 미버 쇼래서 진짜 미버 마쇼와 진고래서 될래 미버 라스나 미버 쇼 마쇼서 비슷한 거 식대.
So if for example, if you're holding your water bottle, then for as long as you're holding that water bottle, you're holding that water bottle. You've got it, you're grasping it, you're apprehending it. But then when you get distracted in a big way, maybe you get a fright and you go, and you drop it. You're no longer holding the object. You've lost the object. So that's the same then with our mind. So as long as so we did some mental factors yesterday, the fourth of the 5 omnipresent ones, the meditative stabilization. As long as that's with the object, you're holding the object. As soon as it's distracted, lost the object. And when you develop this to the point of single-pointed concentration, then through the power of that mind, you don't lose the object anymore. Just like holding onto that water bottle for dear life. You're not going to let it go. So like that.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Okay. Thank you.